Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back to VIOC in Action. This is your boy, Mr. Leon Hunt, better known as Ross Books. One time for the one time, can't cool, can't quench. Hey, we are here in VIOC in Action. Today is a very special show because guess what? We always talk about the Olympic Committee, the Olympic movement. We talk about all our athletes update. We talk about health. We talk about preparation. We talk about fitness training. We talk about the whole 9 yards, like literally. This is your number one sports show in the territory and across the world because that's how it is. We here Virgin Islands strong. All right, so look, like I said, this whole year, guess what? Happy New Year's because it's still a New Year's. Happy New Year's if you missed the last two shows. Make sure you go back and listen to them though on YouTube. But definitely, Happy New Year's to everybody. This is 2020. We're getting prepared for our Tokyo 2020. So Japan 2020, Tokyo 2020. This Olympic year. And as we doing our shows for the beginning parts of the year, is we trying to get as much of the Virgin Island Olympians so we can understand literally how they got to how they got qualified, their experiences in the last previous Olympics. And hear that we know we got a lot of time we hear them, well, we see them in the newspaper. We see little clips of interview with them on TV or online, but we never really got chances to gain depth to how the athlete will actually preparing, what going on. You know, a lot of time the newspaper, you say one thing, the next thing you know they change it up, and you like, wait, I ain't say it like that. So no, everybody got a chance to tell their own story from their own mouth, and that's how it is. So today's show, we got one of our nice boxers in here. The man got hard, right? You know the man from St. Thomas, Rock City. Clayton, how's everything?
Boom, bam, bam. What's going on, people out there, man?
Boom, bang, bang.
Everything is good, man. Happy New Year's to the listeners, man. Hope everybody has a blessed and prosperous 2020.
Definitely, man. Welcome to the show. I know we already been on the show earlier, well, mid last year, which was great. That was just before we enter into our Virgin Island Athletes Commission, which is great. We'll talk about that later on in the show. I ain't want to get too much of the information. No, but Clayton, what's up, man? It actually been a while. We here in Rock, but it been a while since I seen you. So definitely Happy New Year's to you, man, and welcome back to the show.
Definitely, man. Thanks for having me once again, man. You know, we are always hustling and bustling. I see you, but you don't see me, man, in a big old truck. I see you from time, but you ain't see me, but it's all good to catch up with the man when we do catch up.
You see that? It's all good, man. So, Clayton, starting out, for the people, I know the people know you, right? Because you come from a very boxing family. Everybody in the Virgin Islands, they love boxing, and because your dad, you know, definitely it must be an honor to actually like how growing up in a family of boxers affected your life, literally like growing up into what you are today.
It's funny, man. I never wanted to be a boxer, dude. Growing up, I never wanted to be a boxer. I was into football and basketball. I was not that great in basketball, but I was good in football. I was big, I was fast, and I was strong. And in football, those are three of the basic keys that you need to be a defense man. So that was my thing. And I had decent hands, so I could receive the ball as well. But I was really good in football. Had a few colleges that came through, some D2s, some D3s. And I even got offered a walk-on spot for D1 in Florida. But I did boxing in an interim just to get into shape for football.
Right.
Ended up doing that, and I fell in love because I love the sport, but I didn't want to participate in the sport. And my dad was like, yo, come to the gym, do some workouts, you're getting fat, let's go.
Let's do
and
it.
That's literally how it started, and that opened the door for me to travel. And when I started traveling, I was like, yo, football never took me. Right. St. Croix.
Right.
You know, so now I get to go, my passport's being stamped, seeing different places, I'm traveling frequently. I was like, yo, kind of like this boxing thing, let me see what it's going to do. And just stuck with it ever since, man, literally.
So you're the youngest of two brothers. And your older brothers are boxing. I call them the champs. Everybody in the family is a champ, literally.
Correct.
So you seen them? They're like. So even when you was running ball and playing football, your brothers was boxing because they originally was boxers too, right?
Imagine, right? So we all play different sports.
Okay, so everybody play different sports.
So they played baseball first. They did baseball and boxing.
Okay.
I did basketball and football.
Okay.
And we all had sports that we liked
Right.
But boxing was just that it sport for us, and that was it.
So did you think your dad? So I got asked because people want to know this stuff, right?
Correct.
Because in a boxing family, your father is the world champ, Hall of Fame. Did you think he forced you guys like, hey, just come out and try boxing, and then next thing you know, you're like, yeah, I gonna keep Iron Man here?
Well, actually, he was actually supportive in any sport. Like,
so he was like, yeah, just do whatever. So then, okay, so once all you guys, so I'm sure when you guys was training, all 4 of you guys was just in the gym, just literally just all the boxers there.
Yeah,
like, it's a lot of talents there.
Yeah, we should just duke it out. A lot of sibling rivalries were settled in sparring.
Okay,
if we do something to be at the house, we're gonna take it. All right, we sparring tomorrow.
I got you. All right, so let me see. This is 2020.
Yes, sir.
Majority of our Virgin Island national athletes came through about 10 years ago, 10 to 12 years. So we're gonna say about 2008. Correct. And everybody pretty much kind of going, because this is back to Beijing. Your brothers was a part of Beijing, and they went there. So when they got qualified for Beijing, what was going on in your mind? Because you was a boxer then too. So correct. Back in 08, what happened in 08 when you didn't qualify for Beijing and they did?
In 08, I actually cried, man. I was 17, the youngest kid there, trying to qualify for the Olympics, and that was right before they changed the age limit. To be able to go to the Olympics. Before, you could have been 16 to 32. And then they moved it to 18 to 34 in 2012.
So you had to have been an adult.
Correct. Okay. So that was the last year that they accepted any minors into the Olympics.
Right.
So I went there. I won my first fight against a seasoned vet. I'm in the middle round, so now I'm fighting for the bronze, fighting for a chance to go fight in the finals. Okay. And I fight against USA, Michael Hunter. He was the #1 dude in the USA. He had more skill, more experience than I was, and he was older than I was, and he beat me. But my brother John qualified the night before me. So I was supercharged, like, yo, I got qualified, I gonna make it through. And I lost, man. I literally cried after the fight, and everybody's like, yo, what you crying for, man? He's the youngest dude here.
Yeah.
You medal with, I think I had like 7 or 8 fights.
Yeah.
So I wasn't supposed to be there on paper.
Right.
Like, yo, you medal, like you represent your country well. You have nothing to keep your head down about.
Gotcha.
And I was like, yo, I gotta get to the Olympics, and I was like, yo, after they qualified and they told me the experience when they came back, I was like, man, I gotta make it to the Olympics. Like, I gotta experience this.
So late summer, which we're gonna talk, is August 2018. They came back and they told you about the whole experiences, and even that 2008 Beijing Olympics, they got a chance to meet some swimmers,
correct,
the shooters, some track guys, and it may
NBA stars too.
Well, yeah. Well, not for us, but I mean for our team, because it was actually, that's when the nucleus of our Virgin Island national Olympians started. Because
correct.
But at first it was just boxers, like boxers. But then it was like, well, we got track people, well, we got swimming over here, we got shooting. Like, wait a second, we actually got more sports in the Virgin Island that we actually could do this here. Great. They met those people. They came by. They told you the experience, and then starting 08, which now we're going into 2009. You are now 18.
Correct.
So you're now an adult. How does boxing set up? Because I know they got amateur boxing. So back then, preparing now, because the next biggest games will either be Boxing World Championship or in next 4 years, 2012 to the next Olympics. So what happened? What was your mission starting out from 2009?
My mission was to get to the Olympics. So 2009, I did a series of Caribbean tournaments, did really well, and I got a scholarship from AIBA, which is the international governing body for boxing, amateur boxing.
AIBA.
Okay. So I got a scholarship from them to go to Milan, Italy, for the road to Milan, which was the 2009 World Boxing Championships. Okay. So I was living in Italy for about a month and a half, training with the Italian national team, and different guys from different countries, so like Africans, Ukraine, Caribbeans, but we were more separated by
the region.
Okay. So it was the Caribbean and African region. Okay. So I met with a lot of Caribbean guys, and we worked together, and actually some guys from the Middle East as well. So like Jordan and Syria. So we trained with those guys, and it was really good. It was a really good experience, and I was like the top heavyweight.
That's what I was gonna say, right?
To look out for in that school.
Right,
people.
right.
So my first fight, I went against a guy from Nigeria.
Okay.
Dude was like 6'8", looked like Deontay Wilder, dude.
Right.
Big, long, tall dude. Awkward, and I just like I was losing the fight. My dad like, yo, you got to fight.
Right,
I just
right.
went in there and just threw my heart on the floor and just gave it all. Won by 2 points. It
pong up this man.
10-12, which
That's
was a great
it
win.
is.
We had moved on to the second round, and actually did the best out of all the athletes that came up. Moved on to the second round, fought a guy who I trained with.
Okay.
And I tore him apart in sparring.
Right.
He just was seasoned, man. I was 19. I just turned 19.
Yeah. This is 2009.
And he was a seasoned vet. So he used all the stuff that I displayed in sparring. He used it against me.
You, right. I mean, but that's smart. That's smart. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't know how to deal with it at that time. And he ended up beating me by like 2 points. And it was he had nothing else, but he ended up going on to lose in his next match. So that was it for me for the World Championships,
which is 2009. So for the younger listeners out there, so you guys know, as you could already see, sports can take you across the world to travel and get exposed to other parameters of the area and growing up and learning things, different cultures. You learn how to deal with leadership. You learn how to be part of a team. You learn how to deal with somebody else's culture different from your culture, and it teaches you how to lose, because you gotta learn how to lose and deal with that situation.
Correct.
So sports can develop a person's character as it did to yourself today. So 2009, we gone through that. You end up losing from the man that done T5 your tricks and stuff, beat you up his sleeve. It's all cool. And also, like you said, before that match, you went in there with the guy that was 6'8". Looking at a guy, people, I mean, yeah, you could get intimidated, but you just don't know what you could do. You go in there, you could either lose from him before you even started out. We say, you know what, let me go in there. We all in the ring. This is how we're going to do. Hey, it only could be one winner here. You go out there, give it all, won by 2 points. There it is. Confidence going to the next round. Bam. All right. That now coming in from that whole year, take a little time off going into 2010. 2010, we talk about 2010 a lot because that's when we had our CAC games. Correct. And that was in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. And for those people who don't know what those are, so every Olympiad year we have, so Olympics is Olympics, right? So after Olympics we usually have an off year. And in that off year, each discipline of sport has their championship, wherever it is, right? It's not the games, but they have each championship, whatever. It's boxing got a championship, track got their own, swimming, everybody got a championship. Then going into the next year, which would be an even year, then they would have the CAC games.
Correct.
And what the CAC games is when that year before, you usually qualify for the CAC games with your timing or your ranking or whatever it is. So now we're talking about 2010 CAC games, Mayagüez, which it was brilliant. It was right there, 20-minute flight across there. We ain't gotta take no 9-hour flight to any place else.
Nope.
Bang, bang, boom. Right? So we there, Mayagüez. This is the time. At this time, we learned from the other shows. Track team literally turned in from 4 people to 15 people, and then we had other sports. So this is the time now where we actually get to meet our partner and teammates from other sports, and I think that's where we met back then in 2010 too, as well, in the CAC game. So how did your CAC experience go in Mayagüez?
My CAC was great actually. I was light, I was in shape, and I came out there to win gold, like literally.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we had we had a baseball team. So actually, that 2000 and a cycling, I remember we had a lot of sports. We had about almost maybe 60 people in our delegation, maybe even 80. That one year. That was the biggest one. Yeah. I remember now.
Everything.
Yeah. Oh wow. All right, go ahead.
So I came there like ready to fly. Like I came out in 2009 with a great run. So I came with all the juice for CACs. Came there, fought Mexico in the first round, beat him 13, I think it's 13-10 or 14-11. Beat Mexico the first round, nice and smooth, I boxed him. Went to the second round, again fought a friend from the Dutch Antilles.
Okay,
his name is Benji.
Okay.
So now I went out there and I got better since he saw me in Milan.
Right.
So I think you saw that fight.
Yeah.
Man, I boxed the brakes off of this dude, blacked his eye, bust his nose, bust his lip. I came out unbruised, unscathed.
Yeah.
And he beat me 3-2. I scored only 2 points for that whole fight.
Right.
And it was insane. Like, he came to me after the fight like, yo, man, you won. And he went on to lose his next fight to Puerto Rico's Victor Bisbal, who I ended up meeting and beating later on in my amateur career. And it was just, again, it was rough for me. I was like, man, why did I get robbed? Like, they robbed me. You know?
But that's true.
I mean, for the fire.
Hey, that's, I mean, and I gonna say it, I mean, when you're at games, okay, in any sporting, we have the audience, the spectators, we have the participants, and then we have the officials.
Correct.
The officials is the people who run the game, you know. And let me tell y'all something. I coached a basketball game numerous of times, and you miss stuff. Sometimes you get caught up into watching the sport than to actually officiating, and it happens because that's just how it just is. And you miss things, and it's just human error. And sometimes it just sucks, or the other team at home country advantage, you know, and that's just what it is. So it's gonna happen. It's fair play when you in the ring, and that's just how it is. I'm gonna leave it there, and believe me, it happened all across the world.
Yeah.
So that it happened. Oh yeah. All right. So that happened there. 2010. You finish out the okay. That's the problem with boxing. I think that when you sparring with particular members across the world, and you happen to see them again, they could kind of use it against you. I mean, but that's just how the sport is. Exactly. So do you put all you have in sparring so that like, okay, because you're gonna compete against these people again. That's just how it is. So do you put everything out that first time when you're sparring? Or do you develop things to counter it? Like, okay, if you put this out there, you always got to have a counter just in case somebody could stop that. So what's a tip on that if you're going to be sparring with people that you're end up going to be competing against?
Well, in my in Milan, in my ignorance, we were actually being rated.
Okay.
So they were actually test matches. So they were testing our ability to rank us based off of our region in Milan. So I actually kind of had to spar a little bit harder than I would for those test matches. But in reality, sparring is not designed for you to go for the gusto. It's really designed for error. It's to work on the areas that you are not good in. If you're not good in jabbing, you work on your jab. If you're not good in head movement, you work on head movement. You work on defense. You know, these are the things that you work on, but you increase your work rate. So you work hard on those things to exert yourself, and also you push past your limit. So if you're doing 4 minutes, if you're doing 4 rounds, 2 minutes, you try to do 6 to 8 rounds. Because in reality, fight stress and sparring stress is different. Your sparring stress is a controlled environment. It's within your norms. You get familiar with your sparring partner. In a fight, it's fight stress. So you talking, you pushing, you heaving, you holding, you're getting in the spike. You hearing the crowd, you hearing the corner, you hearing this guy breathing against you, you know, all of these different things are happening. So your body is in a different level of stress. So sparring is designed to kind of help you to adapt easier to those kind of stresses. So I would also say, if you're going to spar with your best, but spar effective sparring.
Okay, so, and that's, as you say, so so effective sparring is working on your weaknesses mostly than your strength. So as you build up, which is practicing, you guys. So you practice in here, so which mean ideally the next time you do come out, those weaknesses should improve into going towards strengths. So I guess practice makes perfect.
Definitely.
So not saying that you don't leave your strengths alone because you don't want to neglect those, but it is set up for more of your weaknesses. Cool. So just like any other sport in basketball, if you ain't got a good left, walk on that left hand all the time over there, but you still could go ahead and do it on the right. Same thing in tennis. If you got a good right hand or boom, you still go on. Sometimes you want to practice on your left. So same thing in track and field. Sometimes, hey, you might want to figure out the block start, how you put another inch or two, or whatever the situation, or timing. So practice makes perfect, and guess what? You put in is what you're gonna get out. You understand? And that is one of the international traditional things all across the world. Is what you put in is what you're gonna get out. And what we're going to put in is a commercial break to the next segment. And VIOC in action, my boy over here, Clayton. Preparation to 8-year journey to the Rio Olympics 2016. All right. Hey, welcome back to VIOC in action. We're sitting on here with the #1 heavyweight champ, my boy over here, Mr. Clayton. Representing for the Virgin Islands, aka Rock City. You know, the man to do his thing. The man say he only traveled to St. Croix, so that's why he had to go to football, so he had to go international to boxing. But that's how the thing go for the tingo. So rolling straight in with my boy Clayton, 2011, which is Pan Am's Guadalajara.
Correct.
How did that go? Because I had a good time in Guadalajara. That was good. That's the second largest city in Mexico. And let me tell you, we had some big snapper. I ain't know how they get snapper out there because that's the middle of the place. But hey, that was a great time.
Definitely.
How was Guadalajara 2011?
Guadalajara was exciting, man.
Pan Am's.
First Pan Am Games. It was crazy getting there. So many shortcomings, man. Where to begin? It took me. I had to go to the last qualifier to qualify for the first Pan Am's.
And that's like a pressure where you got a whole season. And literally, you got the last match, and you're like, ah, man, like I literally, like this is it? Is either this here or done? I gotta watch everybody in the paper when they come back and hear their stories, or I can put it all out there and then see what happened.
It was hit or quit, man. Like I went to Venezuela, which was the first one, ended up going down there and ended up meeting up with the guy from Santo Domingo. Destroyed this dude, man. Like after the fight. He couldn't fight after the fight.
What?
I broke a few ribs.
Boxed up the man by.
I lose that fight. I was like, wow. All right, cool.
Wait, so this keep on like you keep on boxing all these people coming out here in wheelchair and thing, and you still losing these fights.
I lose that fight.
Them man don't like you at all.
The next fight was in Cuenca, Ecuador.
Okay.
So Ecuador is like
Cuenca, Ecuador.
So high altitude.
Okay.
Very cold. In the arena, you have on jackets. How cold it was. Nobody was fighting. It was that cold. So we got in there, I fight in Ecuador. Just my luck, right?
Right.
Fighting this short dude. Outboxing him, everything. They ain't giving me no points. He touched my gloves, he gets a point. So my coach was like, yo, you got to kill him! So I went out there for the gusto. Man, I knocked him down a few times, didn't get any points. He got a standing A count 3 times, which automatically supposed to end the match. Referee end the match. So lose that fight. Cool. He couldn't fight the next fight because I broke one of his ribs. Didn't qualify for the Pan Am's. So now we in Panama. So we're in Panama. Now Panama City qualifying for the Pan Am's. So my first fight is against a guy from the Bahamas.
Okay.
Bahamas. I beat him. Then I'm fighting for gold and silver. I fight a guy from Colombia. Really, really good dude. We had a good fight, but he just had a little bit more skill than I did. And he outboxed me, qualified. Boom. So now we get to Mexico.
So 3-0-3 right now.
0-3. So so I won a 3-1, a 2-1.
Okay.
So the third qualifier, I qualified with the silver medal.
Okay.
So I get my spot. So I find my ticket to Guadalajara. So now coach is like, yo, we gotta work on some things. We gotta be ready for Guadalajara because these are guys you go meet and they gonna beat you the second time around. Say less. So we got there like 2 weeks before competition starts. So we train in morning, afternoon, evening, cutting weight. Like we in shape. Fight time comes. I'm fighting Puerto Rico. Couldn't wait to fight Puerto Rico. Watched him. I know exactly how to beat him. Everything. So, lo and behold, I'm in my room, resting, because I was scheduled to fight the next day. But my father mixed up the days. So I was actually scheduled to fight that day. And we missed the bus to go to the arena. The arena was like 3 hours away.
Okay.
So now, they call up to us like panicking.
Like where y'all at? So we jump on the bus. So 3 hours the man saying.
So I'm already late. So now it takes us 3 hours to get there. We get there. As I'm coming out for the bus, the officials are looking for me because they're about to forfeit me for not being there for the fight. So I literally have to strip while I'm walking to the arena because I have to go in. So I went in there without any stretching, out warming up to fight Puerto Rico. So as you know, you warming up in the ring. So the first 2 rounds didn't go as planned. Still warming up. from round 3 to round 4 was all me. So I closed the gap from being down by 7 points to being down by 2 points within the second, third, and fourth round. I don't think I did enough to pull it out just because of how bad I started off. Right. So I ended up losing by 2 points again. But that had nothing to do with skill. It's just that we had to mix up with the schedule.
Right.
So
and that's error on the coach, so you guys know. The athlete usually, I mean, not that the athlete shouldn't know everything. It's just that sometimes, honestly, some of these games will get chaotic. Timing, the date, sometimes it'll be in Spanish. Not that we shouldn't know Spanish, but it's Spanish. It'll be in, well, when you get to the Worlds, it's in Spanish, it's in English, it's in it's French, and then it's in Greek. Because Greek is the original language for Olympics, and then you just gotta figure out those things, and then the timing hours, the change. But hey, it happens to the best of us. It been events where I got there late just because either just the traffic or whatever the situation. Had to run out there, no warming up, and had to jump, which is the worst thing to do. You got warm up, dynamic warm up, or something, so you don't pull something. But that's why we are the word elites. You know, I don't tell anybody that's a beginner, but do know you need to have a short warm-up and a long warm-up, because situations like this will happen when you enter into the international. So this was Pan Am Games, and Pan Am's is the 3rd year after Olympics. So like I said, championship the first year, second year is the CAC Games. The games are the qualifier for Pan Am's. And then Pan Am's are the official qualifier for the Olympic Games, which is the 3rd year out. And now this would be going into London.
Correct.
2012. Half of the team that was there, well, actually, I think the same amount of people that went to Beijing 4 years ago before then is among the same people that went to to London. How did you miss out on London?
London was different, man. 2011, I came off a great run. I went to a tournament in 2011 called the Paul Murphy Championship Tournament. Won the belt, came back home with the belt after scoring 2 knockouts. So I went up there and devastated those guys. 2012 was a quiet year for me. I really didn't have much activity in 2012 until we got to the Olympic qualifiers in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay. The same. Oh no, sorry, not the same place. But I forgot. This is 2012. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So in 2012, the qualifier was in Brazil, not Rio de Janeiro, but in Coco Palau.
Okay.
Copacabana, Copacabana, Brazil, and it was really cool. We went there, and I had Brazil in Brazil. So my coach already told me, "Yo, you got to beat the brakes off of this dude."
In their country, because they.
I went out there and I beat the brakes off of this dude. Scored 2 knockdowns. I was winning a fight, and all of a sudden, when the last bell round, it went from being 12-11 to being 13-12. Brazil.
Okay, they up 1.
So we like, but the bell don't ring. How we get a point? So we went to file a dispute. It was crazy. The whole stadium booed. Because I basically had this dude out on his feet.
Correct.
For the better half of 2 rounds. You know, and they told me I didn't score anything. So that was crazy. So I lost. That was my only shot. And the next qualifier was in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken. And our federation didn't have the money to send me there. So I only had 1 attempt to get to 2012.
Okay, which was down in Rio.
Correct.
I mean, in Brazil. All right, so as you guys could see now, we got 4 years in preparation after the last 2 last Olympics. So we got Beijing preparing. So this is like the gain up to how you guys can understand that it take time. Like, things happen throughout the year. It take time for you to actually get there. We got 4 years to do it, but sometimes it even take more than that. As we can see, it can take 8 years. And in that time, you literally trying to fix X's and O's, the do's and the don't, what work, what don't work. But you gain older, you gain smarter, you gain these experiences. But as your body is wearing out too, like you getting tired because you're like, dude, I don't have no time to rest. Like, I gotta do more and more and more. So you got all these things going inside of you, different training styles, going to different camps, different people. Like the ranking keep on changing, the rules changing. You get all this stuff happening to you, and you just like, man, I just want to go out there and I just want to compete. You know what I mean? So no, missing up on this opportunity for the lack of resources for funds to go to that was way in Dubai. That's a pretty long flight too, and a pretty expensive one if you don't have any miles. Just to let you guys know,
that was the last world qualifier.
Literally, you know. And okay, you have to watch it on TV. Dreams done gone. Miss 2012. It's all cool. London. All right. Next. Okay, so no. This is like okay, again Ola. This is boxing. I get 4 more years now. What's going on in your mind now? Like you have and had some success in those 4 years, but now psychologically, what's going on in your mind to prepare these next 4 years from 2012 to 2016?
I gotta be better. That's it.
2012 is okay, and then this is the time if I can remember going into let's say 2013 now. We're here. I know you starting to. I think what's going on? What happened in 2013? Going into like I know you started doing some things back home, and you started doing. I think you went to California a couple of times. Like, how are you preparing to go to the next Olympics, which is 2016?
2013 is just analyzing the sport. I was upset. I was like, man, I'm done with amateurs. There's a heap of robbery. I want to go pro. Because right after 2012, they took out the headgears and they changed
the rules. I was changing
in amateur boxing. So I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna be good without headgear, man, that's what I get paid to do it.
Right.
You know, my dad's like, no, Olympics is important. Continue to build, continue to grow. You know, it's not that time yet. All right, cool. So I was like, look, well, we gotta go back to the drawing board. I need to be more active, and we gotta get something to go. So 2013, I kicked off. There wasn't any tournaments going on, so I went to the Palmorphy again in 2013. After I went to 2012 as well, and 2013. In 2013, I won by knockout again, and I destroyed the competition until nobody wanted to fight me when I went up there. It's like, yo, we don't want any smoke when I do it.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But it's a good thing, but you ain't get no fights.
Yeah.
So you can't qualify if you ain't get no fights.
Yeah, so it's bad. It's good. It's good because I'm good. It's bad because I need fights to gain skill. So that was that. 2014 kicked off with the CACs.
2014 CACs. Let me see. CACs 2014. Can I remember back that far?
That Veracruz.
Veracruz, yep. Cold Mexico again. Veracruz and Jalapa. Yeah.
You guys
so,
hour and a half.
Yeah. So at these games, guys, usually, okay, so a country get a game, city get a game, but sometimes all of the actual discipline of the games are not in that city, and you have to travel out. Just as you could see when he was down there in Guadalajara, it was 3 hours away. So, like I said, it's a city. Either is that city, sometimes you gotta travel far out. And he was in Veracruz, which I wish he was in Veracruz, because I was by the beach area, and we was in Jalapa, which is a drive up in some country town. It was rainy, it was messy. I was just like, man. But it was cool. It was cool up there. It was different areas, and we didn't get a chance to see Veracruz until we came back. When we were about to leave, and we was like, what? This might not get the beaches and stuff. Like, when you're competing, you don't want to be in rain and cold. It's like, that's like Seattle. You don't want to just be in a gray area.
You want to see the sunshine. You want to enjoy it.
Yeah. So what happened in Hala? I forgot about this game, but this was an important game because I remember I actually went training up in the mountains for a whole year just to train. So this is actually one of the years that I've been. This is one of the years that I was the top of top, like full best shape until the next year, which I was better than that last year. But go ahead now.
Yeah, so 2014.
Veracruz
went for the qualification. And this time now for CAC, you had to qualify for boxing. Years before, you could have just attend. This year, this time you had to qualify. I qualified with gold. I knocked out the guy in the first round with a body shot. And then for the finals, the coaches decided not to let a fighter fight me. They figured I was just too dangerous, and they wanted their fighter to be in shape and okay to fight in Veracruz. So we go ahead. I went gold by no decision. Cool. That was the greatest moment here in my national anthem. Being flown and seeing my flag on top. That was great. So now we go to Veracruz. I'm there in shape, looking good. And I get the toughest draw out of everybody. I fight Cuba my first fight.
I know it was coming. Hey, them Cuban boxers, they
So-
don't stop it no. Hey, go ahead.
So now we get in there, fights going. It's a great fight. Catches me a good right hand. I take it, I recoup, I recover, and he just continues to just do what Cubans do, man. Float. He just floated for 3 rounds. It was a close, competitive fight, and everybody was upset because that match should have never happened. Like, that's supposed to be a finals match.
Yeah.
And after he fought me, he went on to cruise and win the gold.
So he had the toughest one, and then that was it. Well, that was a championship round. I gonna take it like that. It's all cool, but now you know. I mean, like, you gotta prepare for those matches. But
Yeah.
literally, that's what I said. Like, the drawings, it'll just be, man, it's conspiracy. But sometimes them heck, that just be, it just don't be fair sometimes. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's
and you
crazy.
gotta go out there and do your thing.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
CACs into 2015 preparation. 2015 was Pan Am Games
Toronto.
in Toronto,
Toronto
which was another. That actually has been one of the best games in our side of the world that I thought. It was just done well.
Yeah,
it just
for
done
me
well.
too. It was lit. Canada was nice. Toronto was nice.
Yeah, and which I said, that was, like you said, you went in the 14, best shape, great. Same thing, floating from 14 to 15. It just kicked it up a notch, and that was amazing. So, how was your experience then?
15 I came out with a vengeance, yo. 15 I did WSB in Puerto Rico, which was, so I left my 8 to 5, and I did full-time boxing for 2015. So I went to Puerto Rico.
Full time, yeah, I heard that. The man made a decision from leaving his 9 to 5 to go full time as an athlete, which is very tough, extreme tough, and you need a lot of support. And I do not recommend everybody do that unless you really gonna put it 158,000% in, because it's a tough sport with every sport without support, and you need a plan to go in it, which means you have to do that. If you're gonna choose to go full time, you say, look here, I gonna be Olympian, because that's it. Go ahead.
So gone there. So now I moved to Puerto Rico to do this thing, pursue this thing full
Man,
time.
moved to Spanish Town,
I'm
yeah.
doing WSB fighting. I fought against Venezuela. My first fight, won. After being sick that whole week of the fight, and a cold, and a sinus infection, toughed it out, won. Second fight, flew all the way to Warsaw, Poland, dude.
Me don't know even what I did. Go ahead.
Dude, fam was cold in bordering. I was at the border of Germany, dad.
You see that?
Cold. Cold. People that white like the snow.
Yes, sir.
Ghana did a fight, Poland and Poland. Fought a guy over there, had a clinic, man, beat him 4 rounds to 1. Went out there, won that, came back home, and then I had to fight Italy. Another big fellow, dude, like 6'6", 6.5, 6'6", 6.5. Dude was the youth European gold medalist, all kind of different, heavily decorated amateur. I was heavily underrated.
Yeah.
And they dismissed me. I went out there with my heart on my sleeve to go for the gusto. Went out, man, start going for it. The first round was back and forth. So the second round going forward, I took over, won that fight, ended up becoming top. I was ranked number 7 in the world after winning that fight. In our part of the world. So I was on a high, and I was supposed to automatically qualify for the Pan Ams. So there was one more fight left in the season, and I was supposed to fight in USA against Cam Awesome. But the Puerto Rican team decided not to send me. They sent my alternate,
Right.
and he lost, giving Cam the point advantage over me and pushing me down in the stacks. So I got last on the card. I need to go to the qualifiers for the Pan Ams. So I have to go to Tijuana. So here we are in Tijuana, Mexico, and having a great time. I ain't shit. I in good shape. I'm showing diesel and I looking good, feeling good. First fight, win a first round knockout. Caught the guy with a good one too.
Ba-bang.
I hit him and followed up with another overhand right. Dropped on the floor, cold talking like he felt like a tree. Boom. Second fight, fought a guy from Bahamas. He's a homie on my zone. So his coach just came to me and told me, look, don't injure our fighter, please. Just win, but don't injure him.
Right.
So, taking my time, do what I need to do to win. So he got carried away and started trying to get extra aggressive. I was like, okay, time for me to turn it up just a little bit. Remind you who I am.
Right.
Turned him up, won that fight easily, won that fight like 3-0. Did that. So now we in the finals against Duarte Lima. Never forget this guy from Brazil.
Okay.
I already got a silver medal. They already done drug test me to see how
Right.
am I winning. Da, da, da. Cool. Go in there against Duarte Lima, caught me a good shot, and recover from that. And I actually got sick after my second fight. We know in Puerto Rico, in Mexico, you don't drink the water
Yeah, they can't drink no
or
water.
the ice. So I was
The water and ice are the same thing.
Went out, get something to eat, had a nice lemonade with ice. I was like, man, this lemonade tastes good. Suck up on the ice. I was like, oh God, it's ice. Man, my belly started walking, vomiting, nausea, you name it. Can't eat, can't keep anything down. Coach was like, look, you sick, you don't qualify, you don't fight. I was like, nah, you gotta beat me. You got on your WR for me. I ain't giving nobody no walkovers. So we got out there, did that, and I'm losing that fight. Win the silver medal, but qualified for Toronto Games.
You see it there? Qualified, the man qualified for Toronto Games, coming off of a whole year of hiatus. His mission to turn in professional after putting on his 9 to 5, which I tell you got to be able to go all in. You check. But look, we're gonna come back in and go all in because we on the road to quote unquote real. This is our preparation here, you know, going on to 7 years now before the man finally get his big chance. Back in VIOC action with my boy Clayton. Okay, welcome back to VIOC action. This is your boy Mr. Bass Boxer one time for the one time can cool can quench alongside the man named Clayton over here. The biggest boxer in the world right here. Watching hey, man better watch out, you know. The man is the man knock you down and bust up your ribs and all them kind of thing that just like how he doing coming into the Pan American Games 2015 in Toronto. Tell me about it, Mr. Clayton.
So Toronto in shape, everybody, I am the guy to watch. I was a Caribbean. Come into the room, everybody's watching me, everybody's already talking because the horde saw who didn't hear, saw who didn't saw, was live, and they already got the word out. So just my luck, I draft Duarte Lima again in my first fight.
Right.
This time the fight was different. I was healthy, I was rested, and I wasn't sick. Came out there and boxed the brakes off of this dude. And again, the decision was not in my favor. The judges did not see that my efforts were valiant, and that's how that went. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually broken. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I go in pro next year, born this Olympic dream. I gave him my all, and these man still around me. But fast forward, my dad was like, yo, just give it one last try.
So
Olympics is in.
You were giving up. I mean, you were hanging up your gloves. Hey man, 2015 go. They man keep on robbing me. 7 years down, like no matter. I just can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Dad came in, no coach. Wait, this was dad or this was coach?
This was dad and coach.
Okay.
So from the dad's perspective, he's like, look, you're my son. I love you and I respect any decision that you make. But I don't think you should give up on your dream. I think you should dig deep and push. He's like, no, as a coach, you have the talent. You beat that dude. You just didn't get it in your favor. The Olympics is right there. I honestly feel that the Olympics is 5 months away. Suck it up. Get ready for Rio. Let's see what happens. If you don't qualify for Olympics, then we go pro. If you do, let's have at it. Let's say, all right, pops. Let's go. So the first qualifier was in Buenos Aires, Argentina, in February. Yeah, February. And that was the only qualifier that I could go to because the next one was in... No, it wasn't in Dubai. It was somewhere, I think it was in Azerbaijan.
Okay.
For the as the World's qualifiers. So our region was, the last one was in, the only one we had was in Argentina. Went down there, got in the best shape I could while working my, cause I had to go back to working at 8 to 5.
I had to go back to work.
So while while doing
take
the
out
best,
the year and mess up all your dream, we gotta go back to work.
So now while
gotta pay the whopper bill.
Yeah, gotta pay the light bill. So after doing that, back to work, got in the best shape I could. Wasn't where I wanted to be, but in the best that I could. Got there. My first fight was against Canada. Beat Canada. After having wardrobe malfunction, my trunks ripped. Had to borrow trunks from Mexico, who just lost.
You got to wear losing shots. Go ahead.
Going to win. So went in, beat Canada. My next fight was against Cuba. Fighting with Cuba. This is a different Cuban from the CSCs.
Right.
Fighting with him. He gave me a style I never seen. He was southpaw, very rangy, and he definitely outboxed me, outpoint me. He beat me on every aspect of the game. I was humble in my defeat. I was like, all right, cool. Well, this is it. My Olympic dream is now done. Who would have thought that that was that. So after walking my head down, disappointed, the officials come, hey, mañana pelea. So that in Spanish that means tomorrow you fight.
Right.
I was like, okay. They're like, yeah, you fight in the championships to fight for the last spot, because there was only 3 spots open for Rio. So it was a fight. Luckily for me, I'm fighting Argentina in Argentina for the last spot. So we already, mentally I was like, look, I gotta go there and leave it all in the ring. Went out there, scored a first round knockout. A body shot homeboy, never did see. And he just rolled over the ring, and I just literally dropped to my knees, gave God thanks. I was like, yo, this is now, a dream is now becoming reality.
Right.
After that, I was like, look, told my dad, I was like, look, I can't do what I'm doing and be ready for the Olympics. So I made a decision to, again, leave my 8 to 5, and I started a GoFundMe account. I started seeking sponsorship, and I got a sponsorship, and I took a one-way ticket to Texas to a friend, Wendell Dorsey, the second, took a flight out to him. We were up there just going on the road. I drove like 4 or 5 hours every day, back and forth, going to gyms, just sparring whoever would give me a spar, just so I could be ready to get ready for the Olympics.
Right.
Did that, came home, and finished my training camp at home. And I was not working still. I got another sponsorship, and I was just at home training. I got to the lightest in my career in the last,
It had to be
last 4 years.
Yeah, since the last Olympics till 26.
I got down to 230. I was ripped, lean, in shape, and I was ready. So now we got to Rio. First fight is against former Olympic medalist, former world champion, current number 1 dude.
Right.
Germany, Eric Pfeiffer. Dude was a beast. I was already written off. Everybody's like, oh, you had no name from the Caribbean. How do you feel to be in the ring with the likes of the great Eric Pfeiffer? So all these international bodies coming to us like, yo, this dude have 2 hands, 2 feet, just like me.
Just like
He got on this W. I went out, and I beat him. Man, I made the media all across.
Box up the man,
Bam, made the media all across the world. I made the papers of the German news, papers out from the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands. It was a big thing. Even made it on Yahoo Sports.
Yes.
So it was huge. My next fight is against the number 1 guy, which is his name escapes me, but he was from France. And dude was tall, rangy, really good fight. It was a tough fight, very competitive fight throughout. I feel that I could have edged it out just enough, but it didn't go in my favor. But I ended up being his toughest fight.
Right.
And he went on to win the gold medal. So needless to say, I always lose to the best.
No, that's good. The man did 8 years to gain the ring with the Olympic gold champ after beating the guy from Germany before, where the man was supposed to lose.
His name is Tony Yoka.
But it took 8 years for the man to finally get his break. And honestly, to be losing to the champ, you can't ask for nothing else better. I mean, but that's why I tell you earlier, you gotta learn how to lose and learn how to prepare yourself. But
definitely,
that was a winner once you done got there already, because you were done the underdog to the German guy, and then it's like, what? You get past this here? It's hope. The man was like, what? Yes, that's how it go. 8 years, the man finally got his goal.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Being there, and so since then, how has that even made you feel like, man, like 8 years is a long time, in a whole almost a decade, and then boom, you got your chance there, you did it, you don't do it and done. You see me I say? So after that, after the games of the Olympics, what happened then? Did you was like, you know, I gonna stick it in, I gonna stop, or like what did you decide to do then?
For me, I was like, my goal was ultimately I wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist, but I wanted to get to the Olympics. And for me, it was just like, anything is possible. It just takes a lot of time, dedication, and help.
Yeah.
And every athlete needs help, and that's the biggest thing that I could urge to all the listening. Any future sponsors or current sponsors, your help is needed, and it makes a difference in athletes' life, especially when we could take off one less stressor off of our plate to get ready for these games. It just taught me that life does not always come with a blueprint.
It definitely don't.
There's no blueprint to Olympics. I can't tell you how to get there. My road may not be your road. Your journey may not be my journey.
Right.
But what I can tell you is, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can reach it. You just have to dig deep and pull it out. No one can do it for you. No coach, no coach, no supporter, no family member, no sponsor can do it for you.
Right.
All they can do is give you the tools, but you gotta drive the engine.
See that. So, and listeners, definitely, like, dude, you have to make this a decision. You know, I mean, early on, you know, when you're a youth and thing, you kind of go through things, but being in sports definitely do open you up to other opportunities.
Sure.
And even opportunity. The games are great, but when you actually make it, when you actually say you want to be an Olympian, it's a whole nother maturity level that you have to go through. Some people just have talent. Correct. They could just go out there and do a bomb. And it's like, what? These people, and have a great time. You know, we seen that from some of our other athletes. They just talented, but most of the time you do got to put in that work, you know? And you've been able to achieve your goals and even bring it back to our country, putting our country on the map. Literally, like I said, you know, your dad is a Hall of Fame now until he got inducted to the Hall of Fame last year. That's amazing. So it's like, wow, that like you in the legacy of being there. You understand?
Definitely.
So I think that's great for the territory and great for our athletes that even want to inspire to being boxers or being in other different sports, because I think we have like 35 or 40 different sports in the Olympics that you can choose from.
Correct.
And they even have other world games that's not in the Olympics, but it's just there too. But picking one of those disciplines, everybody have an equal stand-up chance of becoming the world's best or whatever it is. You just got to put it in. And yeah, I'll take it. Sound good to me? Sound good to you? I like it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So now, this is 2020.
Correct.
Tokyo. Of course, you're retired from the ring. So what are you doing on the outside?
Well, for me, I left amateur boxing to the kids. Mm-hmm. I've been given opportunity to come back because I'm still within the age, and now they take professionals as well. But I had my time, man.
Okay.
I had my 8 years to get it done. I got it done, and there's a lot of kids in the gym that look up to me, who wants to be like me. I say, I always tell you, you're gonna be better than me.
See that?
You know, you gonna achieve better than I did because you are more serious than I was at your age. Just continue to work. So for me right now, it's all about giving back to the community that gave to me, giving to the kids, inspiring the kids, and continuing to use boxing as a vehicle to reach kids that are otherwise unreachable to the average Joe. So let's use my platform to reach kids, to reach adults, to inspire, motivate, and push people to be better than what they are currently.
See
and that's what I do.
Well, where can everybody find you at? Where can they find you?
Man, you can find me on social media at Mr. 340. On Instagram, you can find me on Facebook at Clayton Pro Boxer. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. 340VI. And you can just catch me in the local streets, man.
See you there, and you heard it live here. So in VIOC action, bringing it to you live every Saturday, always at 12 o'clock. Rocket in and out. Hey, you always could catch us on our Facebook page of Virgin Olympic Committee. Go on there, log on there, check us out, send us a message, whatever it is. We have all the inquiries, or you could go ahead on the Twitter, hit us up in the same place on Virgin Olympic Committee, and don't forget to use the hashtag or the @ at Team ISV. Why we don't use Team VI? Well, here's the difference. Team ISV is our abbreviation for international sports. So we look at the ISV. Team VI that's what we say Virgin Islands great. But that's how we differentiate somebody who knows the sports aspect compared to just Virgin Islands. But use both of them anyway. You got 36 characters or 21 characters you could use in a post anyway. Use all of them. Catch me at Instagram at BOOKIE. I believe that's what it is. B17, that's what it be. 17BOOKIE. Catch me there, send me a message, whatever that, get back to you guys, give you guys all the updates. And make sure you're checking in next weekend. We got another live show for you guys. This is Happy New Year, Sarah, but it's Olympic year, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna rock it till the wheels fall off. Tokyo, we're coming for you. Virgin Island strong with the birds in the back. Clayton, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you again for having me.